about read-alouds. So some of the key things to remember about read-alouds are they are not just for an English class. I feel like whenever we talk about read-alouds, the main thought is reading some huge novel in English. We're reading The Diary of Anne Frank, we're reading To Kill a Mockingbird, anything like that. But it's important to remember that read-alouds can be about any topic in any class. So this is just simply a way to show students what the topic we're discussing is and how it's been written about essentially throughout history, but just written about in general. This can be used as a way to pique interest in a topic or deliver important content to the students. So it could help the students realize, oh, this is actually really interesting, I want to study this further, but I would also say give them important information as to what you're focusing on right then. So this can be done in various ways, from informational books to magazines to storybooks, picture books, anything that talks about your subject. But it's important to remember that it should be something that is written well, somebody that has a background in doing those things. You don't want to give them something that sounds like it's from a forum. You know what I mean? So some of the steps that we should implement for a good read aloud are, first things first, making a good text selection. So in doing so, you just want to make sure that it's appropriate for the age group. You don't want to give a little third grader something that would be read in high school or college, or give something to a high schooler that would be read by a kindergartner. Because you'll lose interest a lot faster than you'd like to and won't really get to focus on the topic as much as you'd like. So you should definitely preview and practice the text. This just gets you familiar with the text, makes you realize if there's anything that you should talk about before going into the subject, if there's any confusion that there might be, so you're ready to address it. You should also establish a clear purpose for listening. So if you're not explaining to your students why you're doing this at all, it's a lot easier for them to tune it out and not pay attention. Going back to the preview and practicing the text, you want to show fluent reading. Something that we talk about a lot as music education majors is that you need to model well so that your students can perform well. Because they're essentially using you as a guide for what they should sound like, look like, anything like that. So if you're not modeling fluent reading, then you run into the problem of your students are stuttering over text for a long time, or they just don't know what it should sound like when somebody's doing a read aloud. Reading with animation and expression is also super important, helping them stay focused on the text. If you're reading with a monotone voice just like this, I think you would just make all your students tune out, and it's really hard to listen to, and we've all had teachers like that, and we just don't want to have that as a teacher. So it's also important to facilitate a discussion of the text. So that would also go back to the preview and practicing the text. Just being ready to strike up conversation about what you're talking about or what's being talked about in the story itself. And you want to always follow up the read aloud with student independent reading and writing. This helps them show what they understand and what they've taken away from the read aloud that you've done. So this is an example of something that I would use for a read aloud for young students. This would be for a general music class for elementary age students. But yeah, so this is The Really Awful Musicians, with stories and pictures by John Manders. So I'm just going to read a few pages of this as an example of how a read aloud should go. Once upon a time, in a kingdom amazingly far away, music sounded incredibly, well, bad. The king couldn't even stand to listen to his own royal musicians. One at a time, they weren't so awful, but together they sounded horrible. The king couldn't face another evening of it. Enough! No more loud, soft, fast, slow, screechy, billowy, terrible musicians. Hire me some mimes, he thundered. He decreed henceforth music would be banned throughout the kingdom, and anyone caught playing music would be fed to the royal crocodiles. So something that I would stop at least, to talk about my students with, since it's just general music class for elementary kids, would be, why do you think that they sounded awful together, but sounded really good, or not as bad apart? So that's just a small example. You can go and read the rest of the book. It's just on Google Books. But yeah, so just finding ways to use read-alouds in your teaching to help students realize that the topics that you're discussing in class are actually also written about. It just helps them be introduced to the topic, helps them, if it's an elementary student, with this book specifically, it could help them realize how jovial you can talk about the topic and stuff like that. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions about the text any further, you can just message me and ask me questions. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you.